Hey, this is Rob from Alabama Gulf Coast Gardening. Kind of want to do a little video to get a look at how this food forest is going to start in my backyard and what I'm going to be dealing with, and then hopefully a year or two from now look back and really see what kind of changes we made and how much of an improvement we made. Walking past a fig tree here that's been here for several years. I do have some fruit trees in the yard, not enough to make a food forest from, but it's a good starting point to have a few at least to start fleshing out how you're going to do it. This fig tree has really produced well for us for over the years. And in the first video I did, I showed this American Beauty berry that I found hidden in this thicket that over the years has kind of gotten away from us. The berries are now on there. Looks like I'm going to be right about this, and it is going to be a beauty berry. You can see what it's had to struggle with. I freed it up a little bit so it could peek out here and get a little bit more sun. I think this bushy, shrubby area in here is going to do well for the food forest, though. As you can see, there's a lot of leaf litter on the ground. It's been accumulating leaves and sticks and logs and stuff on the ground for years back here, and I think this ground is going to be fantastic for growing fruit trees. I'm not going to take all this out until I start putting in the trees and the shrubs and stuff like that, because I don't want it to turn back into a lawn. I think that this is actually a benefit back here to me, to have this kind of jungle-like, foresty kind of area that's well shaded in the ground. I think is going to be fantastic. I'd say back here mostly has been just ligustrums that I used to keep back here to kind of keep. I used to be a beekeeper. I keep the beehives a little surrounded, so they're a little out of sight and out of mind. Back here we got a magnolia or two. Back here some live oaks, you can see maybe up through there. And there's a palm tree that's been trying to find its way up through here, and that's definitely going to stay. Most of the ligustrums will be gone, when we get the fruit trees going. But they're serving a purpose right now, keeping the ground shaded and keeping a lot of biomass on the floor. Step out here, you can see what I got to deal with out here. A lot of lawn, which not going to be as easy to overcome as we build this area. Got a nice little banana circle here we've had for several years. Usually get quite a few bananas out of it, most years anyway. You can grow bananas on the Gulf Coast, and you can get fruit, as you can see. This has been kind of a lot of fun. This is a elderberry tree that had just gotten so tall. You can see where I cut it off. It just got so tall that it was shading the bananas too much. I really got to get some more of this stuff knocked down so the bananas don't get so much shade. Really kind of have to push bananas a little bit here to get fruit that gets ripe enough to eat before winter comes. Interesting tidbit here. This is a sweet potato that I bought at a local market that was labeled as yams, and we ate them. Thought they looked and tasted like sweet potatoes. The flesh was white, but I planted one just to see what they come up like, and sure enough it came up as a sweet potato. So that's alright. We like sweet potatoes too. There's another elderberry growing in here. That'll probably stay. Magnolia probably stay just because it's pretty. And the rest of this stuff's probably going to end up going sooner or later. Really looking forward to this. Probably start trying to plant trees this fall once the temperatures come down a little bit. Trying to get my hands on some fig trees and buckets that are ready to go. Oh, there's a couple of loquats back there. They bear real well for us most years. Interestingly enough, this may be common with loquats, I don't know. But all the branches on this one, if you can see there, A lot of the branches have gotten big enough to break and just kind of sag down to the ground. So I probably have some pruning to do on this tree too. Most of the fruit up there is hard to get to anyway, so I may have to just prune it down to where we can reach more of the fruit. I told you about this sweet potato here. I wanted to kind of show you the difference. If you look at the leaf on this thing, you can see that the veins where they come to the center of the leaf, they all meet in the center, kind of the center vein, if you want to call it that. And the way you distinguish that from a yam, over here I've got what I had hoped was going to be an edible yam, but it's not. Kind of volunteered up. But if you look at it, you see that the veins all meet at one point right up here at the top of the leaf instead of on the center vein. And that's a yam. This is actually what they call the air potato yam, or the Dioscorea bulbifera, I think is what they call it. So I was disappointed to see that that's not a edible. But out here in the bigger part of the yard where I have lawn to contend with, I've still got some fruit trees. I got an orange tree there. Got some more sweet potatoes planted in here. And that's going to be a little hedge of moringa trees to provide some nutrition for it. Those leaves are real good to eat, very nutritious. Got a couple of what David the Good, which if you haven't looked at his YouTube channel, I encourage you to do so. He calls this a melon pit, where you dig a pretty deep hole, put a lot of compost and just biodegradable material in the hole, cover it back in, and plant melons on it. We got cantaloupes and watermelons. There's actually a little watermelon down there. And that out here is Seminole pumpkin. This is another one. And you see the Seminole pumpkin, and this one really took off. It's really doing well. But this area, there's a couple of trees and a little bit of thicket there that's going to go away. A few more fruit trees in there. Thinking about leaving this, what I think is an ash tree, I'm not sure. Leaving that to be a yam trellis. This Paulownia, this great big Paulownia tree here. It's gotten big enough it's making too much shade for the yard. That's probably going to go away. This is an apple tree. That makes a few apples, not well pruned, but that makes a few apples every year, not too many. Another one of these melon pits. Some more of the Seminole pumpkin is really going down. There's some blueberries over there. A stand of okra. As you can see, again, a lot of lawn to contend with here. We kind of want this grass to be gone at some point. A little bit at a time. It's a nice peach tree. It's a jujube tree given to me by a good friend of mine. Plum tree, and another little plum tree over there. Another elderberry. And pear tree. This is a sour orange, which is was used for rootstock down in Central Florida when I was a kid, when they made grafted trees. And a friend of mine gave me this. It had come from below the graft after the lemon tree that it was supporting got frozen down, and I'm planning on grafting probably some satsumas, maybe some kumquats, maybe Meyer lemon to it next spring, see what I can get to take. Trying to learn a little bit more about grafting. I don't know that much about it. Another palm tree and a nice persimmon tree. This thing usually makes, for as small as it is, really quite a few fruit. Nice, good looking fruit. You can see them there. It's really been a good tree. They're the astringent kind of persimmons. You have to let them get really ripe before you can eat them. Else you'll be sorry. And one more thing I want to show you here. like I say, document this for me to look at as the years go by. Neighbor's got a passion fruit vine that is elected to come over onto my fence and get in my yard, which I'm kind of happy about. I don't know if it'll make fruit or not, but if you look real close down there, there you go. You can see the little flower there on the passion fruit. Kind of neat, pretty flowers. Don't know that I've ever eaten a passion fruit, but I'd like to try. Also have a couple of volunteer paulownias coming out different parts of the yard. I've read that they're good nitrogen fixers, so I'm gonna leave them. Use them to chop and drop and fix nitrogen for the trees. So it's kind of a long look at what we got to deal with here. And looking forward to doing videos in the future showing the changes we make. More later.